Comprehensive performance from her. She's enjoying herself here. Let's have a look at another great looking matchup. This will be the qualifying round Heat 4, looking at Molly Picklum, Johanne Defay, Vahine Fierro. The backhand for her has been something that served her really well throughout that CS tour. Some of the combos that she's able to put together. The goofy going right. Super impressive. Her first run will be back to the wall. Fierro whips one. Gives it a good concerted push. And then interesting, her approach to go into that barrel, coming from pretty far behind the section, and then getting some really good cover. She's really deep here. That one really round, and she was way back in that. So obviously her prowess in the tube translating to the basin here at Surf Abu Dhabi. Good cracks from the backhands. The combos of turns. See as she mixes up the body position, getting inside that tube, putting up a hanger on the backhand. Another nice hit to finish. Great opening for Vahine.
Yeah, that was super strong from Vahine. I think, when I think about her strengths, obviously you go to her forehand tube riding in big slabby waves. But my other strength for Vahine is definitely her backhand attack. I mean, it's what got her onto this championship tour. Her strength on the Challenger Series was that series of backhand whips that she's got. And, I mean, when we look at this barrel riding right here, I mean, really, really well done. She even had time to slow down and wipe the hair out of her face, the water out of her eyes, maximize that tube time. And then these maneuvers here, just textbook backhand surfing from Vahine. This is her strength. This is what I was talking about. And then able to maximize a little bit of tube time here, really leans forward and then digs that whole side of her body into the face of the wave. But yeah, for me, I mean, her backhand's her strength. So started off with a finish, a clean wave, made it all the way to the end. Strong, especially when you consider the kind of surfers that she's coming up against. You know, you got Johanne Defay, Molly Picklum. A lot of time spent in pools.
Deep cover for Fierro here. Some clean and tidy rapid fire work. 2 on the championship tour, and it will be a first look. Surfers like Johanne Defay, who had to sit out the Pipe Pro with injury. She's back to full health here. She's amazing on the backhand on left. She's pretty good in the pool too, having the win at the Surf Ranch. Here goes Johanne Defay. Swooping down the line, looking for cover. This tube section, it's paid off with points. She can't quite get locked in the early part of the tube and decides to come and get on the maneuvers. A hit into the lip. Section of the wave offering her opportunities to go with those combos on the backhand late into that last section. A little too late, maybe just a touch off timing flick.
Yeah, it definitely felt that way. I think even from the, you know, the very beginning of this wave, I think she was just a little bit out of rhythm, and this wave does a good job at keeping you honest, for sure. It's very humbling, and the moment that you're out of rhythm, you're just trying to play catch up the whole way. Joanne's strength, I feel, is her backhand too. You know, she obviously comes from Reunion Island, got the big long lefts there, so she's no stranger to lefts that peel fast. However, I feel like that was maybe a little bit of a miss.
Let's have a chat with the world champ. She's with AJ. Thanks, AJ. Pick up Picklum here on the forehand, slicing in. And expect plenty of venom and grit from her as she gets her teeth into this. Maneuvers outside, pretty crisp, and then finding cover in the pocket, stalling back arm, stuck in the face. Out she comes with a pump with speed. Lets the first little crumble go so that she can go into a carve and snap, and then double pump, bang, into the lip line. Picklum with plenty of speed to come through to this steep tube section. She's real deep. She got a couple of quick kind of those squirty pumps into that, but didn't quite get enough to carry her through.
Yeah, she was obviously too deep for that last barrel section, but I think what ended up happening was a couple of turns before that she sort of got a little bit caught behind there, a little bit sticky, but there was a lot of good work done before that. And Molly's someone that really impressed me in those practice surfs, those warm-up surfs and the days in the lead up to this comp. Let's have a look. Nice arcing maneuver there. Straight up into the lip, nice acceleration. And then she's just trying to maximize that tube time. Double arm stall in the face of the wave there. And she goes for this open carve here, brings it right the way back around, up into the lip. And then just here, that little section there, she's getting that little bit caught behind before she even enters that tube. So Gonna let that one run away, and probably going to need to be potentially chasing something a bit bigger just to keep it pace with Vahine, already dropping that 6.67. So that was a nice turn there. If she would have got the completion here, I feel like she would have been keeping it pace with Vahine.
A successful run and ultimately a campaign throughout this event. Stop 2 on the Championship Tour here at Surf Abu Dhabi. And it is the Kelly Slater Wave Co technology that we've been with familiar at the Surf Ranch for 4 times on the Championship Tour, but different in many ways. Some obvious similarities. Let's see the forehands of Fierro, what she can get going here. So early tuck for the tube, disappears from the angle.
Nice.
We're looking, and then coming out with a load of speed, lay back, jamming it. Does that well, just got it right, put loads of pressure but not get put behind. And again, the speed management looking pretty good. She's tucked, but she's traveling, and she'll go from deep and out. Her opener was great on the right. This is a good run on the left as well, and 2 very well put together waves.
Whoa, that was super impressive from Vahine. Rookie on tour, and you know, not that much experience in this wave pool setting, in this heat format, and I'm so impressed with what I just saw. I mean, she put together such a good wave. Obviously, tube riding on the forehand, big strength for Vahine, but totally different setting here compared to Chopes. But let's watch what she did here, because she managed to get herself so deep. She's basically riding the foam ball here. Really well done. Comes out, and then I just love the variety. She does get a little bit hung, but she recovers so well. And then after this, just a nice series of maneuvers. Critical, throwing lots of spray, and then once again just a really good read on this last little section here. Reads that slab beautifully.
And now she's up. She was at the press conference to kick off the Surf Abu Dhabi Pro and said she actually feels more comfortable in this format. The statement popped because most people feel more pressure. Unfortunately, right there she goes down on the right. So having a stumble there for Johanne Defay. That first barrel section just automatically reminded me of that really long tube ride she had at the Surf Ranch, one of the deepest positioned. Caity just won the last heat. She's into the quarters. Molly Picklum had a great battle with her at Pipeline. Kicked off the season 3rd in the world. Getting the backhand going. Back-to-back champ at Sunset Beach is Molly Picklum, as she will look to slow down. She's got that thing funneling around her. Now out in front. Nice stretched out canvas. She'll belt it. Nice clean positioning in the critical part of the wave. Hits it hard. Settles for 2 turns. Puts her head down. She's pretty deep on this inside section. Molly makes it. And now lays it down for a nice carve, and will finish up her left. Well done for Molly Picklum. Opening right, 4.23 and 8.61 will put her in first. Didn't see any excellent scores yesterday. Felipe Toledo with the best single score of competition. As we look at this one.
Well, 2 things that stands out to me. The first is the entry for that barrel. See how critical she hit then late to that section and straight into pulling in. Nice stalling right there. Does a lot of damage in the in-between as well, which is usually where the surfers are opening up. Look how critical she gets, keeps the speed, and just finish it off with the cherry on top. Like, that was probably the deepest barrel we've seen on the men's and women's side on the inside section. Look how deep and how extended she actually stayed there for a long time. And finish it off probably a little bit tired right there. Felt like the legs were a bit heavy, which it happens. You know, you put so much energy into the wave. But, man, the job was done for her. That's going to be a healthy score for Molly Picklum. Beautiful surfing, very critical, aggressive, kept the flow throughout the whole wave, didn't bog once, and got probably the deepest barrel we've seen it so far on the last section. So that was very impressive. Look how critical that turn is, how her nose comes. She brings her board all the way back in, but still comes out with speed. And here, putting all that weight forward, trying to get that track, that low road that it only offers a little bit of room in it. Then finish it off with that carve that wasn't able to finish so well, but kept it clean.
Vahine Fierro just heard the score from Molly Picklum. She's still out in front. She'll try to improve on her 6.67 here. Really smooth in her approach. Nice connection. Falling off the lip with some momentum for the pit. And she will get real deep, showing off her ability backhand in the barrel. World famous for what she can do in heavy water sections on her front side. Had a great stance and just got swallowed up there. So a shorter ride there for Vahine. In her mind though, she's like, hey, I need improvement on my right, which was already a 6.67. Not a bad idea there to try to get really drained. Not
a bad idea, and that's her strength. That's the point of distance that she's probably going to have on top of most of the opponents, the ability of riding the barrel. But the problem is here, you're going to see a chandelier. She starts beautifully, slowing herself down. There's going to be a chandelier at some point here, I think in this section here. And what that does, Joe, it just gets water in your face and in your eyes, and you can't see what's in front of you. So you're going to see she highlined a little bit too much, hit the top of the wave.
One in Pennsylvania, but the wave wasn't world class back in the 80s. This is world class surf here in Abu Dhabi. Johanne Defay loving her backhand attack. A couple of nice, powerful sweeps off the top. Pushing a bit harder. She'll hang onto her rail and just be running down the line. Looks to hold her rail, really just out in front of that whole section. Back to the lip, subtle air drop. Keeping herself real critical in the pocket. Her backhand surfing last year was some of the best I'd seen in her career. As she puts her head down, she'll make that inside pit. Setting up a little redirect and a little tap on the lip line to step off. So Johanne was looking for improvement on a right and a left on her second run. So right there, she wants to get rid of her 3.83.
Yeah, most likely she will. That was solid surfing for her. Lacked a little bit of depth on that first barrel. Made it up on the second one, which is a very hard one, very compact and small. As you see her right here in that first barrel, she's trying to slow herself down, using that outside part of the front leg, but can't quite get in there. And that was a very critical turn. Once again, another one down the line. Combination of critical maneuvers. That last one before setting up for the barrels. Good amplitude to it, and this one she gets deeper, comes out and finishes off strong. That's going to be a good score for her to build on. And applying to the right-hander, because she's going to be, her and Molly are going to be with pressure now going into the last wave for Johanne and the last two waves for Molly.
Johanne Defay has been on the Sharp Eye team for a bit, always a solid squad, and you'll see her put her head down on this end section. A lot of speed and a much better approach at the last part of the wave as far as the barrel was concerned.
It gives that last part of the wave, it gives a little bit more opportunity for the surfers.
We'll put her into the lead. And here goes Molly. Nice first turn. She was able to find a lip early, then into a nice fading cutback. Hits it really in a critical spot of the wave and styles her way into the first tube section. Nice bottom turn for Picklum. Cool carve. Changing gears for more of a hack. Whips it off the lip line. Now more tube time. Setting up for Picklum's got to get a little board speed. Comes out without a problem. Winds up for a cool little lean back slash on the open face and grabs the rail and runs out of room. Austin loves it. Great performance from Picklum.
I mean, he has to be stoked. That's back against the wall. Obviously, she has a 7.23, so she needed to batter that right in order to get the score. 5.61 and points of difference on that wave. Once again, that entry into the barrel, like identifying that critical part of the wave. You're going to see it right here. First turn, nice, good release on it. And this is the section I'm mentioning. Starts to bottom out, but she hits it critically straight into the barrel. Not much downtime. As we've seen it, the girls prepare it a lot, and that's what the judges want to see. You're just giving elements of surprise, and then this beautiful drawn out layback, driving through the inside rail and not just the fins. And then right here, she knows she's on her way. So she just wants to be smart, and she sees it. I don't want to get too deep, so she does a double pump, gets a barrel, not as deep as she was probably hoping for, but she didn't need it. And then finish it off once again. A lot of rail on that last turn, driving through. And there's a difference in between pushing your back foot and just driving through the fins and actually using the fins but engaging the rail. And that's what she's doing on that turn. Look how much rail, inside rail engagement that is there. What that does, accelerates, gives you amplitude into the turn. And beautiful surfing from Molly.
To try to get her lead back, the rookie from French Polynesia. Paddling into her left-hander, needing a 7.17 for the lead and a jump right into the quarterfinals. Throwing some nice turns out the back. Carves off the lip into the barrel now already for Vahine. Running out of the hollow part of the wave, she'll now lay that rail down. Leans back into it. Snaps it in the pocket, off the lip. Vahine now running into this inside pit. One of the best tube riders on tour. Gets out in front of it and hits it off the top and rides away. Vahine chasing a 7.17. That's her last wave for this qualifying round, heat number 4. For a chance to get back into the quarterfinals. Taking the top 2 spots from that night session. Here's Johanne Defay on her last chance to skip to the quarterfinals, needing a 9 on this wave. Jams it, risky turn there as it bottomed out. Looking to arm bar that wall to control the speed. She will reemerge into the sunshine. Drives a nice top turn carve. Defay hitting that big section. Still in attack mode. Defay has one kind of late coming down on top of her. And a climb when it's starting to really get hollow is a very difficult maneuver in this wave pool. So one of the most dangerous in the surf pools over the years. Might be dealing with a longer Saturday today.
Yeah, it looks like it, Joe. And that was more like Johanne, you know, like more aggressive, very solid on her foot, sure-footed, no downtime, keeping those rails clean. But as I was thinking, she was going into a very healthy score. Maybe not the 9-point ride, but something she could build on and gain confidence for the night ride. She just mistimed right there. It was one more turn that she should have done. She should have went straight into that barrel.
Her last wave will be a left. She did have a 6.6 on her last right-hander. Her big score is already on the left, the 7.23, which is the best score on the left so far today. Love her connection with those backhand hooks. Scooping herself up and under, and she'll get caught. So that bonus wave will just end up going unridden.
And that's why I mentioned those guys and girls are so good at being under pressure. Like as soon as you take the pressure away from them, they let the guard down, and sometimes that happens. You know, like when do you see that happening from Molly? You know, like rarely ever. And maybe just too much freedom right there. She needed that push. She needed a doubt. You know, like she needs something to think about it.
Yeah, it's like what drives you. And for these athletes on tour, they live off pressure situations. As we break this one down, we talk about her forehand a lot. We had the turn seen around the world at Sunset Beach on her frontside attack. What do you like about her backhand approach?
I mean, it's just solid surfing overall, and I love the tube riding. Like, it's a lot of girls can get barreled forehand, but not many can actually have the beautiful style and technique that Molly has. Not in this occasion right here. She overloaded a little bit too much and got caught, but usually that's what I think is a standout from her.
Already off to a great start. As we know, she was back-to-back at Sunset Beach, which was stop 2 for a couple of years. So with that venue taken away, that's a couple of big wins for her. She's adapting quickly now to understand the system here at this venue in the Middle East.